Alright, so today we're going to just review adding and subtracting fractions with like denominators and then simplifying our answers. So let's look at an example. 3/8 plus 3/8. Remember, we are not going to add our denominators. So our denominator is going to remain eighths. We're going to then add our numerators, which will give us 6/8. But 6/8 is not in simplest form. To put this fraction in simplest form, we're going to make our t-chart. We're going to put 6 and 8 in our t-chart. We're going to think about all the ways we can multiply to get 6 as our product. In other words, we're going to be coming up with the factors of 6. So to get to 6, we can do 1 times 6 and 2 times 3. To get to 8, we can do 1 times 8 and 2 times 4. We then want to see which numbers they have in common. So I can see that there's a 1 on both. So I'm going to go ahead and start my list down here. I can also see that there is a 2 for both, in both factor lists. Those are the only two numbers that they have in common. The one that is the largest, the greatest common factor, which we will call the GCF, is 2. Okay, the largest number that they have in common. The greatest common factor's job is to help simplify your fraction. And you're going to help simplify by dividing both your numerator and your denominator by your GCF. 6 divided by 2 is 3, and 8 divided by 2 is 4. So our answer, 3/8 plus 3/8, in simplest form, our answer is going to be 3/4. Let's try another one. 5/10 plus 3/10. Again, I'm going to keep my denominator the same. I'm going to add my numerators, and that's going to give me 8/10. However, 8/10 is not simplified. So I'm going to go ahead and make my t-chart, find my factors. This is why it's super important to know your multiplication facts. Remember, the next step is to see which factors they have in common. They both have a 1, and they both have a 2. We're then going to identify our greatest common factor, and our greatest common factor is going to be 2. We will then divide both our numerator and our denominator by the greatest common factor. 8 divided by 2 is 4, and 10 divided by 2 is 5. So our final answer will be 4/5. This works the same exact way when you are subtracting. When you subtract, your denominator stays the same also. We subtract like normal. 11 minus 2 is 9. Now remember, you want to set up your t-chart. 9 and 12. You're going to have 1 times 9 and 3 times 3. Over here in the 12 column, you're going to have 1 times 12, 2 times 6, and 3 times 4. We're then going to see which numbers they have in common. They both have a 1, and they both have a 3. Our greatest common factor is going to be 3. So we're going to go ahead and divide both our numerator and our denominator by 3, giving us 3/4. So 11/12 minus 2/12 in simplest form is 3/4. Remember, you're trying to get your numerator and denominator as small as possible. If when you make your t-chart the only common factor that you have is 1, then you know that your answer is already in simplest form. I hope that helps.